Well, first of all, what we need to realize is that we are in the 21st century. We're not in the 15th century, we're not into the 7th century, we're not in the 1st century, and we're not in the time of Abraham. And so things need to shift. You know, as a Sikh, I need to deeply love and be a Jew. And as a Jew, I need to deeply love and be a Muslim. And as a Muslim, I need to deeply love and be a Christian. And as a Christian, I need to deeply love and be a Buddhist. And as a Buddhist, I need to deeply love and be a Hindu, and a Zoroastrian, and a Jain, on and on and on and on, because everything that we are is on top of what we truly are, and that is that we are truly human beings. And even as human beings, we have to realize what we truly are. We are one and the same. It is very, very easy to indoctrinate the innocent because they have no defenses for that indoctrination. Now the indoctrinators, those who are doing the indoctrination, they're also innocent because they're just operating in the fear that has been passed on through the generations. So they have identified the enemy, they're afraid of the enemy, they need support in that fear, so they indoctrinate as many as they possibly can. So what we have to understand is that there are actually no wrongdoers in this whole game. So the idea of being able to solve it easily doesn't exist. What we have to realize is that the solution exists over a longer period of time, over a longer arc, really getting into this modality of being able to share each other's joys and share each other's sorrows as if they're our own. And that's compassion, and that's empathy. And we need to teach this to the children, because the children already have this, but we need to make sure that they don't lose this. People that kill in the name of God, God is that which gives birth and life to everything. Yeah, that is the distortion of a teaching. Because not Muhammad, not Jesus, not Abraham, not Moses, not anyone that was of that enlightened nature was teaching this. Those are all just aftermarket distortions of the teachings of the masters. So if we can figure out how to go beyond the blame them for wrong, make them feel guilty for what they do, and say, okay, let's get way, way back in history. Let's get way, way deep inside of our psyche. And let's cure the cause, not attack the symptom. What we must realize in the Middle East is the same thing we must realize throughout the world. There is nobody that is wrong. There are just people who are not in their higher consciousness that are running the show. Both sides need to be forgiven. Both sides need to be enlivened. Both sides need to raise their conscious awareness. There has to be some group or someone that is big enough that can take all of these people and bring them to the table. And that's very difficult when the largest business in the world, other than food, is arms. The worst thing you can be dealing with is a person who is very strong with armaments, but feeling very insecure. And an indoctrination is a poison. It's a poison to the social structure, the social fabric of humanity on this earth. And we also understand that it's not done by bad people. It's done by people with very good intentions, but it's done out of fear. And anything that's done out of fear is going to have a toxic result. The base coat of all emotions is joy. Joy, enjoying the joy of another, is love. Peace is living in the environment of love and joy. So the whole history of humanity And the whole play between war and peace, between living in your emotional body which wants revenge, or your highest consciousness which wants forgiveness, is all at play here. Because around every noise, at the core, is silence. Around every life, at the core, is the soul. Around all chaos, at the core, is peace. So, being in that peace, calm, joy, and love is to live at the core. The English word forgiveness has the word for and give and ness, right? So just think of the word for and give. Forgiveness means that I release something from my past and give it forward to my present moment. It doesn't say that that thing that happened in the past is fine and dandy and it's okay. It means that I'm no longer going to invest my conscious awareness or my energy in that moment. I'm going to give that moment, my energy from that moment, forward into now. This is a world in crisis. Crisis is the only thing that stimulates evolution. So we're at a maximum crisis time, which is stimulating a maximum amount of evolutionary growth. And that evolutionary growth is going to change this world. So sound and music is such a powerful mechanism. You can get people to come right into their heart center, and once they're in their heart center, that's when you can put the message in. Life is not the achievement of this moment. Life is the long arc of humanity. All of us joining together like Pied Pipers throughout the world and getting a lot of people just to follow the beauty and joy in their own heart. Because the only way to find out of a horrible place is to find an opening in it. So if you're just looking at the horrible place, you will never find the opening. If a child gets a really full education, meaning that they educate not only their brain, but they educate their body, they educate their emotional body, so that they're really free, so that they can make choices as to what emotional tools they want to use at each moment, what spiritual awarenesses they want to have to overcome physical limitations, and how to create a real true physical health. If they have all of these levels of education, then they can actually find their way out of the trap. I so deeply respect people like yourself who are taking on these vital aspects of human life where there is tremendous injustice, and we need to find creative solutions, because we don't create justice in injustice through force. We create justice in injustice through creativity. All of the arts are so important because they're coming out of the creative side of the brain. And the creative side of the brain has direct access to the heart brain. There's actual neurology in the heart. Medical science is calling it the fourth brain. So when you balance the logical side, the rational side of your brain with the creative side of your brain, all of a sudden that balance allows your brain activity to also go into your heart. That's why so much music comes from the heart, so much art comes from the heart, so much writing comes from the heart. And when you're living in your heart, you can't kill in the name of God. Get silent, get in touch with your heart, allow the brilliance of your mind to shine through the purity and clarity of your heart, and contribute to this world in the way that you were born to contribute. You have a reason for living, you have a purpose in living, otherwise you wouldn't exist. And so my message is, you be exactly who you